knowing who to get help with when you're trying to grow your business revenue is hard. It can be very confusing. Should you hire a fractional CMO? Should you go and hire a growth marketing consultant? Who do you turn to for help? If you are super confused and you don't know where to turn, you may not even know the difference between a fractional CMO and growth marketing consultant. You're just overwhelmed, then you need to watch this video because I'm about to explain exactly who you need to hire. Hi, I'm Carrie. I'm a growth marketing consultant and a fractional CMO, and I love working with professional service-based business owners who are looking to get help in growing their business revenue in a really sustainable way. And that's what I love to do. So in this video, I am going to break down 3 key differences between a fractional CMO and a growth marketing consultant so that you know exactly which one you should hire to help you grow your business. Okay, so let's talk about the first main difference between a fractional CMO and a growth marketing consultant, and that is going to be their time involvement in your business. So the biggest question I get is this one because I am actually a fractional CMO and a growth marketing consultant. I do both services. So my involvement in somebody's business and a fractional CMO is going to be very different than if I'm consulting with them. A fractional CMO is actually going to be the person responsible for overseeing the marketing and growth of your company. So if you bring them in, they are basically the marketing director. They're taking over the responsibility for things like team management. So they're going to oversee all of the team members involved. They're going to be making sure that they are involved in all of the helping with launches or marketing projects. They oversee all of those things and the people involved in those. They are also overseeing the data and data tracking of the marketing. That's their responsibility. They're also responsible for creating all of the marketing plans and the strategy plans for the business, whether that's a 90-day plan at a time, the yearly plans, launch plans. You create all of those things. You're the one overseeing all of them too. So as you can see, it's extremely involved. And so you have to it's a lot more involved in terms of responsibility. Whereas a consultant is not going to have that. A consultant's main role is going to be to come in and be like a facilitator or a guide. They're going to create a strategy plan with you, but they're not going to be the one overseeing it. They're not going to be responsible for implementing any of it. They're going to basically give you the strategy and the plan, and they're going to tell your team and the members of your team that are involved exactly how to implement it. So they're going to give the direction and the guidance and the advice, but they're not going to be the person to oversee it. So that's the biggest difference I would say between a fractional CMO and a growth marketing consultant is how much time involved they have and how much responsibility they're going to take in overseeing the marketing and the growth of your company. Okay, so number 2, the second difference between a fractional CMO and a growth marketing consultant is going to be their expertise areas and what they focus on. So a fractional CMO, in my opinion, has to kind of have a kind of variety of skills and strength areas. So not only do they need to have an expertise in things like marketing and strategy, but they also are, as I said in my previous point, they're going to be needing to do things like time management, team management. So they need to have some expertise in overseeing people and leadership skills. They also have to have experience and understand a variety of puzzle pieces that go into play when it comes to marketing. So they need to be able to understand things like paid traffic and organic social and search marketing. And they also need to be able to understand the launches and a launch cycle and a sales cycle and the customer journeys and many, many different things and how to talk to people and delegate and oversee things. They also have to have a good understanding of project management. Even if they're not the project manager, you have to have an understanding of project management as well. And so that's a variety of a more robust kind of expertise area. And whereas a consultant might actually be much more focused, a fractional CMO will niche. They may focus on a niche. For example, I focus on professional services. That's the group of business owners that I work with. However, you don't have to just super duper niche. Whereas a consultant might actually get very, very niche in terms of who they work with and how they work. You can get very, very specific and focused. And so a consultant may not need to have those more robust areas of expertise in things like time management or in, strategy or even focusing on things like Facebook ads or other types of paid traffic or, organic social. They can actually really specify because they're not overseeing all of those different areas and they're not the one responsible for implementation. So they don't have to have expertise in all these different areas. They can really, really focus. So for example, in my business, when I do consulting, my area of expertise is strategic planning for growth. So we focus heavily on growth and strategic planning and helping them to create a plan. And then I'm really great at helping a team implement that plan. That's what I'm really great at. So that is my area of expertise when I do consulting. All right, so now that you watched a little bit, I'm curious to know which one of these services feels more right for your business, a fractional CMO or a growth marketing consultant. Let me know in the comments below which one makes more sense for you. Okay, number three, difference between a fractional CMO and a growth consultant is going to be their time commitment and cost of services. So a fractional CMO is almost like getting in a serious committed relationship. When I work with someone as a fractional CMO client, we work together for at least a year. That's really, really important. You need that amount of time to commit to a business. And it's going to be, because it's going to be more involved, you have more responsibilities. You are not going to be spending maybe a month or two with somebody. You're going to spend at least 12 months or longer with that person. That also means that the cost of services, because the responsibility of the role, the scope of the role is more involved. As a fractional CMO, you're going to have a higher cost of services. The range of costs can vary anywhere from $5,000 up to $10,000 or more per month for a retainer. And that really depends. How much the retainer is going to be is going to depend on the scope of work, like what that scope of work is going to be. Whereas in consulting, the time commitment is a lot less. You might spend anywhere from 3 months to 6 months. You can absolutely spend more time working with somebody as a consulting client if it's going really well, but it's a little bit shorter of a time commitment. So it can be anywhere from at the minimum of 3 months, 3 to 6 months is the minimum, and it can be much, much higher. And then you will also see, because their scope of work, what they're responsible for is reduced. They're not overseeing everything in marketing of your business. The cost of those services is going to be a little less than a fractional CMO. So you may see somebody who can charge anywhere from $3,500 a month up to $6,000 a month as a consultant, or even a little bit higher. And keep in mind, the cost of services will vary based on the niche that somebody's working in, as well as their scope, but also their own expertise level. So just know that if you're working with someone who has got a ton of experience in their role as a consultant or fractional CMO, their cost of services could be more increased than someone who's a little bit newer, maybe just getting started out in this area. Okay, so if you have listened to this entire video and you are in professional services, or in general, you're a business owner who is scaling your business, you're somebody who is ready to go from $500,000 to $1 million in revenue, or you're someone who's at $1 million and you want to go to multi-millions. If this is you, I have a fabulous free training where I show you the exact things that you need to do to help you begin to scale in a really sustainable way. So just make sure you click the link below right here. It's thezenpreneur.co. Make sure you check it out. It's a great training. It's completely free. And what's awesome is there's some bonus trainings and bonus materials that come with it that also teach you about the systems that you need to scale your company, and a lead follow-up and client follow-up tracker that helps you not miss any opportunities as a service business. So they're very important, and I highly recommend that you check it out.